Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video we're going to talk getting started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and today we're going to take a look at the Ossiarch Bonereapers, and in particular the Stalliarch Lords subfaction. Now we're going to look through the special rules that the Stalliarch Lords get before looking at a couple of units we recommend to get started with for the faction. We'll then look at some other units we can use to expand upon and create some different options for the faction after those first couple of initial purchases, and then finally finish off the video with a little sample 1000 point army list for you to use, hopefully as some inspiration for starting your own Stalliarch Lords army for the Ossiarch Bonereapers in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. And so, our special rule for the Stalliarch Lords is pretty simple. It's called Equimortui, and you can reroll charge rolls for friendly Stalliarch Lord units that have a mount. Straight away, this is sort of pushing us down particular routes. We've got battle line options that we can take with this. We have characters that have mounts, and so really we are going to look at a lot of them and units that support them well over the next couple of slides. And so, where to begin with this force? But of course, looking at the Liege Cavalos. Now, this is one of the many different hero options we have for the Ossiarch Bonereapers, but it is the main mounted one. There are a couple of other mounted character options, but this is the one that's going to be leading the charge along with some knights. 5 attacks with the Commander's Blade at 3s and 3s, Ren 1, damage 2, and another 6 attacks at 3s and 3s, Ren 1, damage 1 from his monstrous mounts. 7 wounds and a 3-up save is a really solid start to a profile. We've got the Will of the Legions ability, where once per turn, this unit can issue a command to a friendly Ossiarch Bonereapers unit without a command point being spent. Ossiarch Bonereapers already generate a decent amount of command points, so getting another one for free is just bonus upon bonus for me. Unstoppable charge means you will do some mortal wounds when you end up charging. After this unit makes a charge move, you pick an enemy unit within an inch and roll a number of dice equal to the unmodified charge roll for this unit. For each 5+, that unit will suffer mortal wound, and in addition, this unit can move an extra 3 inch when it piles in if it made a charge move in the same turn. So not only can it get there, but it can sort of position itself that a little bit better as well. It does have a command ability called Endless Duty, and it can put this on any friendly Ossiarch Bonereapers unit. Until your next hero phase, you can add one to the attack characteristic of the weapons of that unit. Now, joining our Liege Cavalos are, of course, the Cavalos Death Riders, the Knights of the Ossiarch Bonereapers. Now, Cavalos Death Riders are definitely going to provide us with a really solid unit to get into our force. They're a nice, heavy cavalry option unit to take. 3 wounds each, a 4-up save, and they've got 2 weapon options, either the Netherite Blades or Netherite Spears. The Netherite Spears will have 3 attacks, 4s and 4s, Ren 1, damage 1, and the Netherite Blades are actually almost the exact same profile, 3 attacks, but 3s to hit, 4s to wound, Ren 1, damage 1. Now the big difference here is you've got the Death Rider Wedge, where you can use this command ability in the charge phase. The command can be issued by the unit's Mortarch Hecatos, and the unit receives it must be this unit. Until the end of that phase, models in the unit can pass across other models with wounds characteristic of 3 or less as if they could fly. And after this unit makes a charge move, you pick an enemy unit within 1 inch and roll a number of dice equal to their modified charge roll. For each 5+, the enemy unit suffers a mortal wound in addition. This unit can move an extra 3 inch when it piles in as well. Now the big difference here with the Cavalos Spears as well, we should mention they are 2 inch reach rather than the 1 inch reach of the Netherite Blades. Looking at some other units we can bring into the force, and the one I want to talk about first is the Mounted Wizard. That is the Mortison Soulmason. This is a fun 2-cast and 2-unbind wizard, so a really solid wizard. It's got a mount, which is its little bone chair. Mortech Throne, at the end of your hero phase, you roll the dice for this unit. On a 1, nothing happens, but on a 2 to 5, you can immediately cast his Soul Guide, even if casting attempt has already been made for that spell in the phase, so we can double cut up his spell. And on a 6, this unit can immediately attempt to cast Soul Guard D3 times as well. What Soul Guard does is you pick a friendly Mortech Guard or Cavalos Death Rider unit within range and visible to casting. You add 1 to wound rolls for attacks made with melee weapons by that unit until your next hero phase. And so, joining him, we then have Mortech Guard. These are the baseline infantry, and I do think they have a place even in an army that wants to play offensively. It's going to be a great unit for holding ground for us mostly. They have the Shield Wall command, where they can ignore modifiers to safe both positive and negative, but with a 4-up base save, that's pretty decent. The next unit I want to talk about are the Morghast Archai I've got written here, but really both units of Morghast are certainly something that have a place within this army. They're fast moving, 10-inch move with fly. They're elite, so they can cast commands on themselves. They've got a few cool abilities and some differences between the 2 types of units. Archi will have the Necromantic Custodians, where they get a 5-up ward while they're within 12 inch of any Bone Reaper heroes. Otherwise, you're going to have on Wings of Malice, where you can deploy off the board and come down onto the board if you're Morghast Harbingers. Both these units will have the Heralds of the Accursed One, where enemy units cannot receive commands while they're within 3 inch of any units with this ability. And also, Grim Opponents means that if they make an unmodified charge roll of 8+, they'll actually get the Strike First effect when they charge. Now, the last unit I want to talk about are Necropolis Stalkers, another faster moving unit, but also a really good heavy damaging unit. 6-inch move, 5 wounds, and a 4+ save. Their big thing is hunt and kill, where they can give themselves run and charge. And in addition, in your hero phase, models in this unit can pass across terrain features in the same manner as models that can fly. They also, during combat, at the start of the combat phase, will pick a aspect that they can do. This can give them anything from +1 to hit, +1 to save rolls, +1 to wound, or +1 to damage for their weapons. And so here we have our sample army list for the Ossiarch Bonereapers, the Stalliarch Lords as our Legion, Mortar Elm Shaiish, and our grand strategy is take what's theirs. This is just a good one for a cavalry heavy force. We're going to want to be moving into our opponent's deployment zone, so that's what we've gone for. We just have to have more units in our enemy's deployment zone than they have at the beginning of the game. And so we have our leader is the Liege Cavalos, and this model is going to be our general. We're going to go with the command trait here, Show of Superiority. While this general is on the battlefield, you roll a dice before your opponent spends any command points to use a command ability. On a 5+, your opponent must spend 2 command points instead of 1. This is just really, really powerful. This is also backed up by the fact we're going to go with the Helm of Tyranny, where enemy units cannot receive the Inspiring Presence command while they're within 3 inch of the bearer. And in addition, if an enemy unit fails a battle shock test within 3 inch of the bearer, you add D3 models to the number of models that flee from them. This is just a nice combo here. Not only are you forcing your opponent to spend more, but you can actually turn them off entirely and make extra models flee. Now we then go on for our second character, which will be a Mortison Soulmason. The spell we've gone for here is Empower Netherite Weapons. Has a casting value of 5, range of 24 inch, and what this does is it triggers the unmodified hit roll exploding 6s that we get with a bunch of these units on a 5+ instead of 6. Now, battle line wise, we've got a unit of 10 Mortec Guard and 3 units of 5 Cavalos Death Riders. This will round out our force nicely, giving us a decent amount of units. I like Cavalos Death Riders in multiple units. This means we get to trigger their ability to do mortal wounds on the charge multiple times. So multiple small units for me is the way to go. This, of course, means that you're going to get more use out of the Netherite Blades rather than the Netherite Spears. Now, we've gone perfect 1,000 points. Everything here is wrapped up in a battle regiment, so it's a 1-drop army. No allies, 68 wounds on the table. A really fun force of the Ossiarch Bonereapers. If you've got some ideas on a cavalry-heavy Stalliarch Lords force for the Ossiarch Bonereapers, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And so, that is the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And also, drop a comment down below letting us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and the fantastic little community we have here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server that's linked down in the video's description for you all to come join and hang out and hobby with us all. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can do so either by Patreon, YouTube members, or by grabbing some merch from Teespring or our Ko-fi store, all of which are linked down in the video's description. Also, there's some fantastic ways in a bunch of our videos, depending on what game system you're looking to get in. We have a bunch of affiliate codes linked down in the video's description of associated games and companies as well. And if you'd like to help support us via them, that would be greatly appreciated. As a special thank you to our Patreons and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out for your continued support. So thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lowe, Outer Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Cure Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Suarez, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold, and Andy C. And to our YouTube members, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya Lockloric, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, Davis Weir, James Tillman, Gargamel196, and Disco. A massive thank you to all of you for your continued support. Lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel, to everyone who comes on and does all the battle reports and all of the podcasts with us as well, and indeed to everyone who helps make our Discord server a fantastic place to be for all hobbyists. Thank you once again for watching, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.